We have to restart the entire thing because I left that off. Here.
Good job.
I'm.
Two to the one, from the one to the three.
Sorry. Here, let's at least.
Can we get rid of cacophonous now?
Hold on. It's gonna. Let me just add a monitor capture really quick. Yeah, monitor capture. Yep.
Okay,
All right. So this is Gazoogle before we restart the episode because I messed up.
You goofed up.
I did. I done goofed. So cacophonous. Let's see what Gazoogle tells us. Having a harsh or discordant sound. Y'all know that shit, motherfucker.
Now we know what cacophonous is.
Of Greek. Squawky and musical. The halftime show, especially, be a cacophonous display of shock and awe. Their shot glee was cacophonous. For enough conservatives, the glitterati of Hollywood is a funky-ass bunch of sneering atheists. And you can put that on your toast. Jarring up in sound. Okay, so it's like a sound that like puts you on edge.
Okay. The more we know.
Well,
so time to reset.
Yeah, time to reset here. Oh man, I really flubbed up this monitor capture. Hold on. Bear with us, audience.
Should we like stop and just completely restart?
I think it's funny to keep this in.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever we have to go to monitor capture, this is how it's going to be done.
Alright.
I can just switch out really quick. Guy. Well, time to restart. Now that you missed our touching story. Yeah. Just
quit.
Don't even
quit and start anew.
Don't even save. It's not even worth it.
You just completely quit out of the entire game.
Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo.
We probably could do this on full screen now.
Fuck full screen.
What do you mean fuck full screen?
It's gonna be all distorted and whatnot. I like this music.
Me too.
The music is actually louder than our voice, so why don't I turn that down? Let's put those at 100. Damn, this music is so loud compared to our voices. It's gonna be like. All right, so I've never played through Katawa Shoujo, but Dylan has.
Yeah, I played.
All right, let's go. We're moving upstairs really quick. All right, let's grab the mouse. I don't. Oh, we're not staying upstairs, are we?
I don't know. I think.
Oh, that's your charger. Okay.
This is my charger.
Dan, are you asleep?
Not really, but
Oh, I think I know what was going on up here.
I'm almost there.
Dan, were you jerking off that gay porn on your DS?
Oh
I
boy,
know
now
you have a lot of that.
the bone tax. The bone tax. How do I turn this TV off?
Power button, I'm assuming.
I think I know what was just happening.
Alright.
Damn, that's fun. Well, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo.
After an unexpected moving.
Oh, I hit the control button. Let's go back. There we go. All right, now we can finally do this. Start the timer. It's time to get funky.
It's all good. Start reading.
A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. Well, yeah. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. Actually, if you're gonna be Hisao, you should do the narration.
I probably should, huh? Okay.
Alright, I guess
You do all the girls.
Alright, and what about the teacher, the creepy teacher?
Yeah, I guess I'll do him.
Alright.
I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from rumbling in this cold.
Numbing.
Just how long am I expecting to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 o'clock p.m.
Oh, no, I can't mess up like last time.
Please don't. Ah, yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens.
Ooh.
The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind.
Hi, Hassel. You came? Not quite yet. That's my
A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race.
Ooh.
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 Ooh. Iwanako, I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic.
Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it.
A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried.
You know what? I probably don't even have to try to voice act like a girl, because my voice is pretty high.
Nah, I'm enjoying your voice right. I'm enjoying your girl voice right now.
Okay, we'll keep. Thanks.
You're welcome. You do a good girl voice.
Oh!
My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself.
Fucking pumpcoon. You don't know about that.
No, I don't.
Nobody knows the whereabouts of pumpcoon.
Debunk fools who claim they know the whereabouts of pumpcoon. Fucking, you don't know where that shit is.
So,
Somewhere
here we are, out in the cold.
Bitch
Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense, because we learned that it was like an unsettling noise. Cacophonous is like an unsettling noise.
Yeah, and y'all know that shit, motherfucker, as well.
Kazugo!
Iwanako flinches ever so softly against a gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. She's nervous.
Oh, she's nervous, alright.
All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder.
You see, I've been in this situation very few times. You see, I'm the one that actually writes the girls the love letters. You see, you know, I wrote a girl a love letter one time.
Yes, you told me about this.
Her name was...
My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried.
Her name, she will remain unnamed, but, I stole flowers from the town of JC, in the park. I tried to... Who was there with me? But, like, I tried to take some from someone's yard, and, like, their neighbors ended up seeing me, and they freaked out on me. So I had to run away. I think it was me and John.
Hey.
Johnny.
You had to do what you had to do.
And, yeah, I stole them from the town, and I gave them to her. They were like poppies. Or no, peonies. They were peonies. And, I actually messaged her, like, I gave them to her that day, and I wrote her a love letter. And, like, I messaged her on Facebook. Like, I had to go to and message her. And, she said, I was like, oh, did you like your gifts? You know, don't think of me as creepy or anything, you know, I just needed to tell you. And, she said, oh, yeah, they were sweet, and she has not talked to me in a year and a half. Well, about a year now.
Huh.
The music stopped again.
I think it just does that over time.
Yeah.
Well, you tried. I already read this part. You're the one reading the girl voice.
Oh yeah. You see, I wanted to know. Shit. If you'd go out with me.
I'd love to.
Wait, we learned that it was.
I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. I hate that feeling.
Music. It's so.
I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms.
What's the timer looking like? It's so.
My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror.
Ah! Oh no! It's so. There we go.
Yeah, you're like. The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees.
Mom spaghetti. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Mom spaghetti. Vomit on his sweater already. Mom spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface, he's Mom spaghetti.
I don't know what that's from. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, a Wanako running towards me, all these fade to black.
I actually really like that transition that just happened.
The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of a Wanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above.
Oh,
Oh,
he's alive at least.
then it just flatlines.
4-Leaf Studios. You know what 4-Leaf Studios is from, right?
4chan!
4chan!
Do we even know who is this 4chan?
I will never touch 4chan ever.
Wait, I don't think I remember this part.
You don't?
No. Anonymous 22. Oh yeah.
Those amazing writers. Editing.
Oh, this must have been like some sort of circle jerk thread.
Oh man, the music people are geniuses.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
Alright.
The art. Hey,
No.
hey, the music is great.
Oh.
You've gotten a very good first impression of the music, have you not?
Yeah, I guess. You see, I remember when I first played this, I'm like, man, they did a really good job with the backgrounds. They're like watercolor or something, and I'm like, oh, these are just photographs with the watercolor effect on them.
You don't know that, Lucas.
I do know that.
No, you don't.
I can tell. I will show you the highlights of how I can tell.
Nah, it's okay.
We will even compare.
You showed me.
And I will show you how to do it.
Sir, you showed me during school.
It is
a
Photoshop filter. Well, there's not Photoshop on the computers in the library.
It's been 4 months since my heart attack. We don't need to worry about that, Lucas. It's okay.
See, that's just water. That's a photograph.
Okay. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia.
Should we learn what that is?
It's a heart condition that, like it increases your chances of getting a heart attack, like, tenfold, basically. Like, you gotta be, like, really careful with your heart when you have arrhythmia. Like,
so, I'm guessing you did research because you learned about it in Katawa Shoujo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, alright.
A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. There you go.
Oopsie.
Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for your cure. Of course, there isn't a cure.
Must be nice.
What? Oh, yeah. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. Condition. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I'd gotten so many cards and flowers was sending me their symphony had turned into a class project.
Oh, what a dick.
Well, I mean, when you do have classmates in the hospital, they do just make it like a class project kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You can completely hate this person, but your teacher will make you do like the whole get well thing with the rest of the class.
I don't think that's the case. I think the people around you, like especially friends of the person in the hospital, would be like, hey, we're doing a get well card for so-and-so, you know, if you want to put your name on it,
That
know.
is true, like,
Yeah.
and then you'll seem like a dick if you don't do it, but...
Yes.
They also do things as, like, just class projects, though. Like, you could have had no thought about sending this guy a get well thing, like...
Yeah.
But the class will still force you to do it. Anyway, back to topics here. Well, we're still on the same topic, but maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. What about Iwanako, though?
Oh,
Iwanako.
there she is.
There she is. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway.
I have the feeling this kid is really awkward in school.
You think so?
Yeah, we never had much to talk about then, like... You just gotta, you have to make something up.
Well, they didn't really know each other from the get-go. I mean, like you said in the beginning, like, the only time we really heard her voice was when he was eavesdropping on her conversations. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again.
Fucking those voyeur probs.
You probably should touch that subject at some point, though. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. Doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable.
This kid's in a shitty hospital.
He really is. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked.
That's like that episode of iCarly where like it's like a motif in the episode, like the like everybody's being so ambiguous, like I guess one of like the classmates get like sent to the hospital and they're like, oh yeah, how long is he gonna be in here? And then everyone's like, I don't know, 2, 3. You know, like
that was
what like days, months?
They did, yeah,
4, maybe 5.
And Spencer went through the same thing with the guy fixing his elevator.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
guy who was a dancer.
4, maybe 5, and like.
Listen, buddy, I'm a dancer. You're not a dancer. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh man, that show was so good. iCarly, I used to watch that shit at my mom's house.
Me too. I love iCarly. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not,
Oh, there we go.
disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope.
Oh, I clicked off. There we go.
At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. I could have watched iCarly.
Could have been fucking watching iCarly.
Japanese iCarly. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation.
That's the opposite of escapism.
I started reading instead.
Okay, that is a form of escapism.
I've done it. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more.
How long was he in the hospital for?
Like half a year, I think. I found that I think he says it later on.
Nudity is a very big motif in this.
Yes, it is. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands.
Like, maybe that's like, maybe it's a... What is it? It's a symbol for, vulnerability. Maybe this is about vulnerability. I gotta play through it and see.
But I love the stories. That's what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness. Through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself, the pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry.
I think he has some sort of depression.
Well, I mean, after being locked up in the hospital so long, you don't really I feel like that would hit you. But that happened only rarely. And I couldn't even cry.
Oh, he had them feels. He
He
needed a good feels thread. Well, I think today, or not today, right now, since we read about all of his conditions, be a good time to say next time on fucking whatever the show's called.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. We'll see you again. This episode 1. Complete with Darren's mom yelling at us and catching Dan doing some questionable things.
Dan just can't help it.
No, can't even help it.
Goodbye.
2 to the 1, 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe.